Hey folks, Connor from Nice Wheels here. Today we're going to review the Tern Verge P10. It's Tern's mid-level performance folding bike. So in this review we'll run through the specs on this bike, we'll show you how to fold it, and we'll most importantly talk about how it rides. So very similar to the other Verge bikes that are new to the Tern lineup in 2017, this bike is going to be equipped with those 451mm wheels. So what that's going to do for you is give you a little bit more of a secure feeling, a little more control over the ride, and also help you maintain higher speeds a little bit more easily. The P10 is hooked up with some really solid components on this bike. Pretty much across the board, shifting and brakes, you're going to have Shimano Dior, and you're going to have a nice wide cassette range here in your 10 gears. You'll have 11 to 40 teeth in the back, so plenty to pick up high speeds as well as climb those hills. One of the more unique things about this bike, especially considering its price point and bikes that are priced pretty similar around it, is that it's set up with hydraulic brakes. So that's going to make the braking feel really easy. You're not going to require much effort to get these levers and get great stopping power out of it, and it's going to be very low maintenance overall. So a really nice feature to see on a bike like this. Taking a closer look at the drivetrain area here, you can see how big this ring is on the cassette, 40 teeth here. And you got a nice little plastic cover here that's just going to prevent the chain from skipping up and basically into the spokes and damaging anything in there. So a nice little safety feature. These Kinetics rims that you get on this bike are both light and strong, and you have quick release on both the front and rear wheels. So it's going to make fixing a flat on this bike very easy. Coming up to the crankset, you have a nice alloy FSA crankset here, and you have a quick release pedal just on the one side, which is all you really need because this is the pedal that will stick out when the bike is folded. So that's just a nice feature that you have, and you also have a little pedal holder right under the seat that you can snap that into. So moving on up to the handlebars, you have a semi-adjustable stem here, just at these joints over here. You can loosen these bolts and get a decent range of motion if you want it a little bit more aggressive or a little bit more upright. You have those options available to you. The bike comes with these nice ergonomic Biologic grips, so those are going to be very comfortable. If you do ride in an aggressive position, you can put plenty of weight on your hands and you'll be just fine for those long rides. And then you have some nice Shimano Dior disc brake hydraulic levers here, and they're pretty comfortable for a 2-finger pull. That way you can stop pretty quickly and you really don't have to pull too hard. It's the great thing about hydraulic disc brakes in general. So now that we've got a quick run through of the specs, we'll show you how to fold it. So you'll first want to come to the seat clamp here, let that drop all the way down, and that's going to support the bike while you have it folded. Next thing you want to come to is the main frame hinge, which you can just push forward on that little red tab and just pull the lever apart. And then the front wheel will stay facing the same way, and you can kind of just bring that back together in sort of an N shape. And then you have a very similar hinge up here where you're just going to pull up on this red tab, let that lever down, and the bars will fall to the side. And to keep those secure to the bike, you do have a little rubber strap that's tucked right in under your frame that you can just strap it together there. Everything's going to be held pretty nicely. You can shake it pretty good, and those magnets are not going to come apart in the back. So the P10 also comes with a pretty nice saddle that is not just like any saddle. You do have some padding under here. This is their Porter Plus saddle that allows you to kind of throw the bike up on your shoulder, and you have a nice comfortable pad here. So you're able to carry this bike up and down stairs very easily. So first impressions riding the Verge P10, even though it isn't the lightest folding bike in the world, it still has a great ride quality to it, and doesn't feel that it's 25 pounds. Since those hubs and the wheel set are really smooth, you don't have a lot of rotational weight, so it's still very easy to accelerate, get those high speeds, and maintain them with those 451 wheels. Tern's hydroformed aluminum frames and forks not only look great, but provide a really great ride quality overall. The stiffness of the frame, you'll notice that when you're trying to put some more power into these pedals, that it's going to feel very responsive overall. The touch points of the bike, like the grips and saddle, are both very comfortable and look nice as well. This frame was also built to accommodate a kickstand right near the rear axle there, so it's going to be out of the way of your cranks if you are pushing the bike backwards. And it's a nice little feature to see on a performance bike, which is not something you get too often. Normally that's skipped on, to save on the weight, but it still makes this bike, a practical and a fast road bike. Having Shimano Dior derailleur, trigger shifters, as well as those hydraulic disc brakes are really great name brand components all around, and most importantly, they're going to be very easy to service no matter what kind of bike shop you go to. So you're not really restricted to going to a Tern dealer to have any of these things serviced. Very standard components in the bike industry that most mechanics are used to seeing. So final thoughts on the Tern Verge P10 are basically that this is going to be the best value bike in their Verge lineup. You get great quality components for not too high of a price tag, so definitely a lot of great value if you get the P10. If you want to see more reviews of Tern bikes or any other kind of folding bikes, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notifications. That'll give you updates to when we release new folding bike content.